Hello there! In this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can improve your visuals in Unity HDRP scene. So firstly, let's talk a little bit about what is HDRP. HDRP stands for High Definition Render Pipeline, which is a type of scriptable render pipeline. That means you can change it manually with C# code and create some shaders for it. The main purpose of HDRP is to render high quality graphics in optimized time. Unfortunately, it's not available on any mobile platforms or any WebGL or VR, so be careful with that, you can only run it on PC. Today we will be improving our graphics on this demo scene. I already opened it. You can open any other scene or any other project as well. Components that we will be working with today is global volume. You can have already a global volume object by default when you create a HDRP scene, but if you don't have one, don't forget, you can always create it. You can go to right-click creation menu and create a volume. I will name it global volume. By default it's also named global volume. And here you can see there is my volume component in inspector. Let's go to global volume profile and create new profile. By default it's created in the folder with the same name as your scene. You can also go to this directory by clicking 2 times on your new global volume profile. And you can see, yeah, I'm there. The first override I will add is HDRI Sky. It will be responsible for handling our skybox. So here I should select my skybox cube map. I will be using skybox number 2. I can also adjust some rotation to my skybox. Then I will go to intensity mode, I will turn it on, and I will be selecting between 2 different modes, exposure and lux. Exposure is operating on smaller numbers and lux is comfortable because you can have more numbers and a wider range. That's why I will be using lux. Now I will add some fog. Fog will let us some ambient. And I will put it a little bit higher, not exactly 0, but something like 3, maybe 4. I will select sky color mode for color tint and adjust it a little bit as well. Now as you can see, I have this a little bit blue effect on my fog, it's quite cool. We can control attenuation as well. I would recommend to keep it around 400 or maybe 300. But not really more or less, maybe even 500 is okay, but I will use 400 for now. Another value you can control is fog distance. It shows us how much distance there must be to see the fog, so where the far plane of the fog is located. I'm a little bit confused about these values, but I will use something like 4000. The next override I will add is bloom. It will allow us to make our emission materials more shiny. First parameter I'm adjusting is intensity, but as you can see it all becomes really blurry. To avoid this you can use a threshold. I will put it somewhere in 1.2. And after this I can also change the scatter parameter to make it look a little bit better. I'm not really satisfied with this kind of emission and this kind of shininess, so I will go to my emission material and adjust a little bit of emission intensity. I will keep it around 50,000. Yes, that looks pretty good. I really like it. The last override for this tutorial is color adjustment. And if someone is a 3D modeler and remembers how you can change different colors with hue and saturation, you can switch on these 2 modes right here. And you can adjust hue, but I don't need this hue. So I will just adjust this saturation a little bit to make it more contrastic and more colorful. Now everything is ready, let's start the game and see how it looks like. In my opinion, it looks a lot better than it was, and tell me what is your opinion in comments. By the way, this package was made by our studio ithappy. And you can go to our asset store and check out Platformer 13 Steampunk now. It's available for creating new platformer games for mobile and PC. So thanks for watching, go check out our other tutorials and assets in Asset Store. Until then, goodbye.